It's a privilege again to welcome back to the stage. You met him on Monday, and no doubt you've seen him a lot during this week. Siamak Loni from Monash University, and as you know, is the President and the CEO of the Melbourne Host Directorate for WorldMUN 2013. Please welcome him.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. What a journey it's been. Long, exhausting, but above all, fulfilling. From the memorable opening ceremony to the heated debate in the committee sessions, it truly has been a conference with difference. I stand here before you, proud of the achievements of this conference. Well, but I also stand here as a president of an organisation tasked with bringing this event to Melbourne. Do I stand here on stage alone? Behind me, there has always been a group of heroes. Although invisible to many of you, they do exist. They are the directors who have facilitated around 40 different portfolios, the chairs who have attended comprehensive back-to-back training sessions to ensure the quality of debate, and our interns and volunteers, whose dedication and enthusiasm has expressed the true nature of Australian hospitality and the spirit of friendship. To make them visible to you, I ask them now to stand so that we can show our thanks. I request that the audience give them a big round of applause for their efforts. What a warm reception. I also thank our partners, AUSAID, the Australian Agency for International Development, the State Government of Victoria, Study Melbourne, City of Melbourne, the Melbourne Convention Centre, the Melbourne Convention Bureau, UNICEF Australia, Monash and RMIT Universities, One Just Small, and above all, the United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific. And of course, I thank the Harvard Secretary. Thank you for having the faith in us to hold a conference of this caliber. And thank you for all your incredible work and dedication in ensuring that the conference lives up to its prestigious reputation. And just like I did in the opening ceremony, I'm going to begin the second part of my speech. Human beings are part of a whole, in creation of one essence and soul. If one member is afflicted with pain, uneasy, the rest will remain. If you have no sympathy for human pain, the name of human you cannot retain. Those are the words that will greet you upon the entry into the United Nations headquarters in New York. They were written by a Persian poet named Sa'di in the 12th century in Iran, my country of birth. The very country I was forced to leave when I was young, to escape persecution. The words speak of the inherent interconnection between human beings. They emphasize the importance of humanity, compassion, and kindness. Those very words have inspired many to stand up for what is right, including a young couple who many years ago began living by these words, by raising awareness about the torture centres and the mass executions of the oppressive regime in which they lived. That young couple were my father and my mother. The cause for which they fought resulted in imprisonment. Sadly, their fate is not uncommon. Every day, men, and women who dared to speak the truth and stood up for what is right are prosecuted, harmed, and killed. I did not know the true meaning of suffering and pain until my family was forced to flee persecution to Pakistan as a refugee. And it was there, when I was old enough, that I saw the true face of poverty and insecurity. Day after day, I would watch children dig food out of the rubbish bins or collect paper and rubbish to sell. Yet, nothing was more painful than hearing the cries of mothers at night when they lost their children, often to preventable diseases in the slums located next to our small flat. A devastating reality that adequate access to healthcare facilities could easily have prevented. When I look back at this difficult period, I feel both horrified and blessed. These experiences influenced me in many ways. They made me see the true face of poverty and also realize the potential for change. We all have stories that have defined us, as Harry pointed out. And we all had experiences that changed our way of thinking and prompted us to take a different path. My experience inspired me to reinvent my world. And I'm certain that your experiences inspired you to do the same. As we gather here today, I hope that your experience in Melbourne is another source of inspiration to carry with you in your future pathways. To invent is to produce something previously unknown. The MDGs were adopted in the year 2000 and have become well known to us. What remains unknown, however, is a world in which all the MDGs are fully realized. That is, a world without hunger, illiteracy, or gender inequality. A world where mothers deliver in good health. A world in which killer diseases are subdued and children have a chance to become adults. Pessimists argue that these goals are unattainable, but the same was said prior to all the inventions that have transformed our world. One thing is always for certain: it is only ideas that change the world. Indeed, over the last decade, we have moved closer to the fulfillment of the MDGs. However, the systems, strategies, and plans designated to get there need reconsideration. It is our goal. As our goals are unprecedented, so too must be our thinking. At WorldMUN 2013, we have come together to reinvent our thinking and reinvent our world. As the first WorldMUN endorsed by United Nations, we are incredibly honored that the body we have been representing over the past week is watching us. And we have discussed some of the global community's most pressing issues. Every single resolution from this conference will be made available on our website, melbourne2013.org. I encourage each and every one of you to engage with these resolutions and use your networks to promote and share our visions. Use the tools of our generation to reach world leaders and add our voices to the global agenda. The quality of your work has been phenomenal. I will now read the action points of the MDG Committee Declaration. We have selected this declaration for a number of reasons. In its letter, United Nations ESCA specifically noted its anticipation of receiving this declaration and stated that it will take our views into consideration when deliberating on the post-2015 development agenda. For those who don't know, Australia is in an election year, and we are determined to hold whichever party will form our next government to the commitment that Australia made when the MDGs were first drafted in the year 2000. That is to secure a commitment of 0.7% of gross national income towards foreign aid. Secondly, with the existing MDGs set to expire in 2015, United Nations members are already negotiating the framework for a post-2015 agenda. It is fundamental that we, the youth of the world, have a say in this process. We must do that today, not tomorrow, now, not later, right here, this moment. Finally, we have selected this declaration because last night, 1 billion people went to bed hungry. Because this week, over 66,000 children died of preventable diseases. Because in this era, natural disasters have been shaking the face of the planet due to effects of climate change. There are many challenges ahead of us, and we all know this. In the coming decade, the task before us will be monumental, and much rests in our hands. The very idea of shouldering responsibility for such an immense role, essentially to save humanity, one often gets very nervous. But don't be. The very fact that we're given much responsibility means that we will also have much power. We also have much influence in making change. So let's not be scared. I will now read the key action points from the MDG Committee Declaration, for which I seek your support. The goals for the post-2015 development agenda are as follows. It is also important to note that this is a brief overview and that the committee devised a comprehensive list of strategies and objectives to accompany the goals, but not limited to over, it's also limited, around 200 pages, so I'm not going to go into it. But it's as it goes. The high-level Youth Summit on the Millennium Development Goals, values and principles, respect for human rights, sustainability, innovation, inclusiveness, youth opportunity, accountability and transparency. And with that we move to the goals. Goal 1, eradicate extreme poverty. Goal 2, promote economic sustainability and equitable distribution of resources. Goal 3, ensure food and water security and sanitation. Goal 4, improve basic health. Goal 5, promote gender equality and empowerment of women and girls. Goal 6, achieve universal quality education. Goal 7, enhance good governance and global partnership. Goal 8, ensure environmental sustainability. Goal 9, improve disaster risk reduction and management. Goal 10, promote peace, security and protection from violence. If you support this declaration, please stand with me now.